Those two turnovers, though, Coach, were an example of not being together enough. They were just bad decisions.
Dellavedova from outside.
Now, would you call it timeout?
Replay.
Yeah, it is. Here's Delly. Now, he has earned, particularly when he's got the first 5 points of the game and already hit a three, you've got to be a little tighter than that. And the same play, they were trying to do that the first time down the floor, is just get a rip for Hurt. Oh, hello. And there's that combination with Matthew Deallavedova. Yeah, here's the on-ball. It's kind of a go screen. And Hunter gets caught in having to try and help. And you can...
Tom Vodanovic next to us at the scorer's table. And we're ready to check back into the game. Dellavedova inside for White. Great pass. Phoenix call a timeout. That last possession sways things in favour of Melbourne United. Tangerine timeout.
Well, it is, and there's Burgers to the state of Victoria.
Oh!
What a pass.
Matthew Dellavedova puts it on a platter, and Marcus Lee takes care of the rest.
It was on show against the Wildcats. Have a look at this pass, and that's on point. And when you've got this smaller lineup, Jack immediately checks in.
Right. Oh, it must be true then. Delly off the lob. Marcus Lee feasting.
Some of your decision making when you get fatigued.
4:30 remaining in this third term. Melbourne are having all sorts of challenges thrown at them by the visitors. Dellavedova, a little fall away. Loves that shot. Marcus Lee might be looking for a bit more awareness after that last play. Dellavedova for White. You're seeing it more and more with this Melbourne team. Marshall wide open. And rattles out, and it had to go. 2 of 12 from long range for the afternoon. An easy 2 for Marcus Lee. Slipping away from them quickly. But Dellavedova for Lee.
Oh, well, that's the burn one. He'd already used one earlier. He's only going to have one left. He was reluctantly trying to hang on with it, but this is quickly getting away from him.
Here it is on the Amy replay. 75-58 at John Cain Arena.
Oh dear, 1-3-1 zone. And the baseline guy got caught out. And also, in that, I include Davis.
What a lob! Oh. Dellavedova for White. Spectacular! Wow!
In accuracy, Matthew Dellavedova. Hello. And you're going to see that on Jack White's highlight reel, but
Clint Cameron from right in front of the Adelaide bench. And then they host Illawarra coming up as well. White steps out for 3.
yeah, it's not the quickest release on the 3 ball, but when he's that open, he's shown he can knock it down, as can Matthew Dellavedova when he gets to the rim. It's been a grind, not a real physical game.
Pass. Dellavedova found the cutter in Bowen.
Well read by Bowen off the ball.
I wouldn't worry about that.
We'll try to get you a little jersey to stand up there.
It's in a bin at Frankston somewhere.
Oh, yes, sir, Jake.
Off the Dellavedova.
Beautiful play.
Dellavedova, just the 2 points for the game. He's got this amazing ability to know exactly where Marcus Lee is at all times.
Here is Dellavedova. Led the league in assists last season. That's a good find for White, who's been white hot from the three-point line.
After missing out on the Boomers up against Brian Gorgon, Alice, you liked what you saw with...
That's the call coming from the replay centre. That's what's in the rules of a coach's challenge, which frustrates Gorge because he did the right thing in challenging and winning it, and they don't get the ball. And if this goes in,
that's going to hurt. And then Daly is able to blow by Adams, gets the points and a chance for a three-point play.
Good balance from Delly. Know where he was, where he threw that up. Jalen Adams again. Saw this in the first half. Unfortunately, Dellavedova went down.
For a sore Jalen Adams. We're all locked up. Dellavedova finds White again!
Oh, wow!
Oh, he brings the crowd to their feet! And he's pumped!
Going forward, and he has risen. I've got him in the MVP conversation.
What lies ahead in the coming round? Nice pass by Dellavedova, and just try to play every possession on its own merits. Try to regain some confidence through your execution. Getting
Short from Prather. Melbourne have played at a tempo much higher than we've seen all season. Delly and one.
Too easy. D-Trans, been saying it for the whole first half. They get a rebound, Shea pushes it up the court. Rob Lowe clears a little bit of space, and who's on Delly? Delly just runs down and gets a layup.
Look how many white jerseys. Look at Rob Lowe put his head down. Rob Lowe's the one who...
Dellavedova, fresh from a 12-assist game, now he has some points as well.
He's been very good this season.
and they good enough to get it there.
Good pass, Dellavedova. If this goes, it's basketball gold.
Come out, Adelaide.
That hook pass we saw
Come
to
back,
Cameron.
side ball, count the basket.
He is not shy, full of confidence.
Couple of misses from the free throw line, a three ball to Davis, and all of a sudden things are getting a little tight for Melbourne United.
Golding with the settler as Marcus Lee about to check back in.
It's a good start, and they've needed it as well.
Nice pass inside, Dellavedova for Lowe. What a find.
Throughout the entire season.
Lowe got away from Oliver. Scores and one.
Well, both the on-ball and off-ball defense has not been great. A little bit of push and shove. But that's just way too easy. Have a look at this. It's
Levels up, knocks down the three ball.
He's 1 of 7 before that field goal attempt.
A stunning second half fight back from the Kings. Jack White does it again.
Make the step back threes, because if you get close to him, you know how fast he is. That is an incredible start by PJC. Good pass, too, by Delly.
And he's found a role in this Melbourne United team that just suits him to an absolute T. So really pleased for the big...
Oh, what the hell is going on?
The fountain of youth is alive at Melbourne United. Rob Lowe having one of the games of his career, 25 points.
Dellavedova fed low, and he misses from underneath. It's a second opportunity. He's not missing that one.
60% from the three-point line. They've got 34 points on just 18 field goal attempts.
This pass from Dellavedova. There's White. Melbourne with the answer, as they so often do. Norton left that one short. United push the tempo. In transition, Dellavedova, back-to-back trebles. Timeout, Brisbane. That's the first time in the game so far they've been a little leaky defensively.
And maybe replay, Matthew Dellavedova. He's on a team.
His hands from Emmett Naar straight into the game. He strips Marcus Lee. Cook gives it straight back. Clark lays it up.
Stood out as if they'd outside of a couple of good individual performances. Oh dear.
White scores off the lob. That play continues to be there for them.
Brisbane is going to result in free throws. Now that might curtail some of their aggression, and that's just an excellent pass.
Not sure about that. It's fine.
Okay. Why are these guys jumping at Jack White? He's like that.
Old teammate as well, Mason Peatley, but Delly, 6 assists now. Just setting him up.
to Illy, who is wide open. Bowen pulls it down. Delly from deep. And Josh King has seen enough. 11-point Melbourne United lead. And they have come out in a way that Dean Vickerman would be very... From South East Melbourne to really try and even that up. Illy across the lane. Cameron in the corner. Foul for Flynn Cameron and count 3 points.
He's been solid. Well, he's become one of the more reliable three-point shooters on the team, 44%.
He's giving Jack White, who was kicked out of the game, an absolute lathering up this afternoon. White scoreless 0 of 2. Matt Hurdy's making them pay at the other end.
That's a great...
Oh, Sobey with a tough take.
Good drive, though. You've got a big man on you. Get it to the basket.
Dellavedova inside the other way. Cameron underneath. Just bided his time beautifully. Underneath for Clark, who gets it to go and will go to the line to add one more. That was more than 2 years ago, since they last lost 3 consecutive games, regular or postseason. Dellavedova off to low. He's doing his level best to ensure it's not going to be today.
Lewis can't knock it down.
Dellavedova pulls up and cashes it in.
Here's Delly knocking down the 3-ball. Much needed.
Well, harassed is right, Case. Shea Lee was all over Milton Doyle, and you can see what Melbourne United's game plan is defensively. They don't want Sean McDonald to set things up.
Oh, nice finish. Jack White.
You're really great for his confidence there as we see Daly just kick a nice one to Jack White there.
Relax to go solo. Tough shot against Bowen. It's Dellavedova. Wants to take on Steindl, knowing he's struggling. And they're going to count the 2, chance at a 3-point play.
The veteran move. He sees Clint Steindl is really gritting his teeth. You can't see it from this angle, but we had the perfect view of it.
He's got 5 of the 9 that Tassie have scored here in this quarter, Crawford. Remembering what he did in Game 5, the championship decided, but Dellavedova's not done with just yet. 11.6 assists now for Delly. It's a big challenge now for Melbourne United with Rob Lowe ejected. As Clark fires the 3, it's deep. White for Dellavedova, who tries his luck. He rattles one home.
Back threes for Delly, and again, this is where...
Tassie have an answer. Here's Dellavedova on Doyle. Trying to force a way past. He tries a tough shot, and Dellavedova gets it done. 16 in the game now for Delly.
And that's the leadership of Matthew Dellavedova there. He recognises who he's got on him. He's got Milton Doyle. He knows he can't foul in this game. He just takes his moment, he stays poised and finishes the possession here as we just see him get him up and under. Nice little dirk there, Delly.
Playing well.
Just wasn't at the great time for Melbourne United.
And it's tough because if Delly misses it and you don't call it, they're going to be thinking when they go back and watch, hey, we should have had a reset.
Dellavedova helped in by Marcus Lee.
Good curl by Kyron Galloway. Not just popping and selling for the 3-ball. Curled all the way to the basket. And once he gets around the rim, you realize what kind of athlete he is. Speaking of around the rim.
Play. This is the gravitational pull that Chris Goulding has. Look where Higgins-Titcher has to be. There's no bump on the cutter, and what happens? You get a lob dunk to Marcus Lee, because if Higgins-Titcher comes across, Jack White cleared out.
And now 10 of 17 from the free throw line, Cairns Saipans. Melbourne 8 of 10. They've been struggling themselves, Melbourne United, and then that's too easy.
Lee gets it from Goulding, hands over to Dellavedova against Davis, muscles his way down to the baseline. Tough move, good job from Dellavedova. Dellavedova restarts to Lee, who puts the finishing touches on. So Dellavedova, bounce pass for Goulding, takes on Humphries. Nice finish from Goulding, who's got 12 in the game. The fans have enjoyed this. Trust you have as well, wherever you may be watching our coverage around Australia and beyond. Treads from close range on his birthday is now up to 13 in the game.
A repeat possession. Chris Goulding's first bucket. Dellavedova, the bounce pass for Jack White. Well, the two players he's hitting some corner threes, Derek. This
last man, Jack White. 3 more for Jack. He led the league for so long in double-doubles with 10.
Very similar to the last game we saw them play here.
Marcus Lee again. The assist from Matthew Dellavedova. The dime-dropping Dellavedova, who's done it in the States, who's doing it in Australia. What a pleasure, what a treat to watch Matt.
Big fan, sorry, Matty. I'm a big fan, Derek. You and I have spoken a lot about him. He's athletic. He can hit the 3, run the lanes, defend. As Delly goes with his little runner.
Still a long way to go in this game. How many more runs does Sydney have in them? Golding elevates, offload for Dellavedova, and the 2 veterans combine brilliantly. Hated hoops on a Thursday.
I wonder where you found that stat. It's gold.
Dellavedova says we want 15 in a row on our lucky day.
Way to make up for it. Dean Vickerman will be ready to pull his hair out, giving up offensive rebounds that easy.
Dellavedova in a game that has been riddled by outside shots. He brings the old school mid-range to play. He ain't a social media guy, but my man Shane Hill, he was a hooper. And every time you open those record books, you are sure to see the peroxide man as Marcus Lee goes upstairs. 16 points after a 3-point first half from Matt Moody. Jack White upstairs to answer back. The pass from Shea on the dime.
Someone that you're competing with for minutes, celebrating their successes along the way, and they do it so well, the Illawarra Hawks.
Get Jaleel out there now for Melbourne.
The camaraderie you're building, us against the world, playing in Illawarra, really milking that whole situation. It's all just perfectly done, and you've got to give Tatum a lot of credit for orchestrating that.
The pass underneath is good, but the shot not so good from Cotton. Wasn't really expecting it, I don't think. Rushed it. Dellavedova edges his way in. Nice work. He almost does what he wants. And once again, United quick down the other end of the court to try and catch Perth out. And Jack White gets the 2 and another foul.
I'd say that all comes off the pace of Delly and the way he's pushing it down the floor. It means defense isn't able to get set yet. He gets 2 feet in the...
Wagstaff to Henschel. Trying to find Doolittle in the middle of the key. Illy on the break, so too Jack White. He springs it from one end to the other and rammed it in the hoop.
Open court and an open dunk.
Just from half court, he absolutely sprinted. Great energy as Dellavedova slots another 3. Look at this team in blue. Still 1 point. Delly scores! That is brilliant.
Delly
He's run the
magic.
Delly says, leave it to me. Doolittle to guard him. Went the fade away. Drops the fade away. Mr. Experience.
Off the court at the State Basketball Centre, and then we had the double overtime thriller in the West as a turnover results in an easy 2 for Dellavedova.
Given the circumstances, as Cook tries to inject himself.
There are substitutions coming for the Brisbane Bullets. Cameron for 3.
Drew, did you get 8 hours sleep after that game? Are you well rested, buddy?
I'm not, actually. I'm not. It was a late night. Early start.
White runs the floor, another pass in transition, this time from Dellavedova, who puts it on a platter.
Well, that's what he does. That's what Delly does. He sees the floor as good as anyone in the competition, and
they smell blood.
They do. It's almost like a triple team. Have a look at this pass on the
to 5. Guarded by Smith-Milner. Wants to take the responsibility on himself. He's fouled with 1 to come. They can't put a foot wrong here.
And the re-identification of the roles of Matthew Dellavedova and Shea Illy over the past week or so has been...
Dellavedova threw it up there, and Jack White went and got it. He's coming back to bite Melbourne again. From Dellavedova, found himself some space. 8-point game once more. Doyle's pass was intended for Deng. Tired bodies everywhere out there at the moment. Dellavedova finds a little...
It's not good so far.
31% across the season. From outside, Matt Hurt. Dellavedova must feed inside for a catch-a-lib.
Career high, David, in that one, that 35, in modest minutes.
Dellavedova created some space between he and Henschel. They're still debating this now.
They want to see the tape.
I can't remember that you're allowed to have this long to make a decision.
Well, he'd already called the timeout.
Went for 46 the last time we was in here.
He's got 36 right now. Dellavedova on the lob for lead.
And that was all created by Chris Golding. Bryce is hugging him.
Continuing to run the highlights to incense this Red Army.
Here we go. Pass inside. Oh, dear me.
On that thing, it's so hard to hear anything right now. In terms of defensively, they want more switches, and to put this in some better language, JR wants his guards to continue to...
Not tempted to shoot again. Taking on Dellavedova, had it stolen out of his hands. Delly, you ripper. He saw two, Delly. Clark with an easy two.
Melbourne winning game one at this venue. Perth hitting back on Saturday night with an enormous second half comeback. Dellavedova with the opening bucket of the night.
I mean, these are quality reps. You know, he's trying to get himself drafted. NBA GMs will be looking at the impact he's having in this high-pressure semifinal series. How you like him so far?
The scoreboard ticking over, which in this game has been so critical.
Nothing separating these two teams. Clark with a career-high night. As we roll to the last 2 minutes. Game 3 with a spot in the championship on the line. Dellavedova gets to work and scores.
Straight away, Dean Vickerman gets Shea Illy ready to check in.
Minute 20 to play, and Jack White boisterous around the rim. 89-82.
Dellavedova, so savvy with the basketball, and I said in the first half, all he needed to do was...
Back out for Tanner Krebs. It was huge for Melbourne in that first half. Shot clock at 3. Dellavedova steps in and shot it like he meant it.
Replay of Matthew Dellavedova. When you least expect it, he can come out and knock it down. Right-hander shoots from the left ear, but still able to knock it down. And down the other end, as the game got a little tight there, just starts to put a lot more pressure on Illawarra with this raucous home crowd as Clark.
It's just starting to get a little messy for the Hawks as they nurse this 2-point lead. Dellavedova ties it up. Trey Cowell III, Swani Swakala Bullock, Sam Froling, and Mason Peatley. The starters once again for Illawarra. That's nice execution to start the half. The Hawks won't be denied offensively, although that pass batted down. Clark here. A lob for Jack White. Timeout. Timeout called. Here's the Amy replay. Melbourne United skip out to a 7-point advantage again.
Well, I saw Clark go onto the wing, and that was a nice move.
Game 3, swinging in the breeze right now. Dellavedova trying to put Melbourne in front. He does. Dellavedova's content to wind this clock all the way down. Harvey overplays. Dellavedova scores. Huge from Melbourne United. Enormous from Matthew Dellavedova.
You do what you can.
And it's the right thing to do. Test the limits to the officials as Matthew Dellavedova, all off balance, knocks a 3-ball of his own. But I like it. Illawarra Hawk just test the limits to the officials. If you put him...
He boots it back up top to Dellavedova. Shot clock getting down to 5. He bullies his way in, and it drops.
Drops that left shoulder.
Illawarra Hawks.
It is now a 10-point lead. Only for a moment, though. Nice find for White. Just 2 points in the first half. He's one of the leading candidates to be player of the series. Pass for Lowe. Oops. He had a little rush of blood to the head there.
The shot was going to be easier than the pass.
Clark from deep.